Batting average against is 221. Earned run or less 5 times out of those 7 starts. And the other time he only gave up 3 runs. So he has been as good as he could be. He's moved himself up, in my estimation, as a number 2 starter in this lineup, as his pitching rotation behind Zimmerman, if you were to just go on their performance over the last 10 or 12 starts.
And the ball club has won 8 of John's last 10 starts. Now making his Pirates debut this tonight for the Bucks, 26-year-old right-hander Brad Lincoln goes to the hill for Pittsburgh.
Well, Johnny, we talked about that. He made his debut last year in the Nationals, beat him, and he's been in the minor leagues ever since. He only had 6 starts. This year he's been in the minor leagues. He's actually, over the last 4 years, spent all those years in the minor leagues except for that cup of coffee last year. He got called up specifically to make this start. They're really high on this kid. He's their number 1 pitcher as far as prospects, but he's just not pitched that well in the big leagues. He's not torn up the minor leagues either. He's 27 and 31 in minor leagues in 81 games started down there, but he has an earned run average of 405 at AA and AAA. So young gun, throws hard, sinker, slider, curveball, and sometimes he has a tough time getting the ball over the plate.
He's given up at least 5 runs in 5 of 9 starts that he's been on the hill for the Pirates. He's worked at least 6 innings in 7 of those starts. That's our Nets Extra pregame. Stick around. Bob Carpenter, F.P. Santangelo coming up next for Ray Night. I'm Johnny Holiday. We'll talk to you after the ball game. First pitch in a couple of minutes.
Tied it with an Ankiel pinch homer in the 7th. Minutes before, the Pirates went ahead for good in the 8th. The nightcap comes your way now on Masson. Disappointing result for the Nats in the first game of the doubleheader on a beautiful baseball Saturday here in our nation's capital. So maybe the Nats will be number 1 in the nightcap coming up in just a few minutes. Bob and FP, welcome to the ballpark. It's already been an eventful day here. Levon Hernandez gave up some early runs, pitched really well. The bullpen let the Nats down in the late innings.
Yeah, Sean Burnett had another tough day, gave up a couple home runs. Interestingly enough, he came into today's game with only 1 home run given up all season long. But how about Ricky Ankiel? 3 for 3 since his return. He got a 3-2 slider from McDonald. Big key to that at bat. McDonald looking in there a long time on a 3-2 pitch. Anytime that happens, you start thinking about off speed. And you look at Sean Burnett, a 2-2 fastball right there, and then a 1-2 fastball to McCutchen. So a couple of fastballs with 2 strikes go out of the yard, and that was the difference in the game. Danny Espinosa right here thought he had another clutch home run. That ball just kept carrying, but Andrew McCutchen said not so fast. So they fought to the end. They lost the first game. Now they got to get it together for game 2.
Nats got a run in the 9th on a Jason Worth single, and that 500 mark eludes them at least for one more game, but they can still get back there during the nightcap.
Yeah, get back there during the nightcap, and it's up to John Lannon coming off a tough outing against the Angels, so it's up to him. Cruised through the first 3 innings last time, and then after that, 11 out of 16 Angels reached base. So for John Lannon, he was very upset after the game against the Angels, so you look for a good performance out of him in game 2.
At Pittsburgh, April 25th, John Lennon faced the Bucks on the road, 5 2/3 innings, and he gave up 4 runs in that ball game. That was a part of a rain series in Pittsburgh, and then at home on May 16th, a little better, 6 1/3, only 2 runs. Lennon sees the Bucks again. On Masson, brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, and by Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. To find a dealer near you, visit MitsubishiComfort.com. Beautiful night in Washington, D.C., and the Nats now have a chance to make it a little more pleasant with a nightcap win to gain a split of the doubleheader and take a 2-1 series advantage, with Game 4, of course, coming up tomorrow afternoon. Game time temperature for this one, it'll be 1 degree cooler than it was for the first game. 91 at 3:35 this afternoon. Clear skies and 90 degrees. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard to beat that low humidity at 29%. How sweet is that? National Grounds crew has a lot to do during the break. They got to pretty much redo the mound, redo where those hitters have been digging in. FP, from a hitter standpoint, what's the most important thing those guys are doing to help out the guys with the bats in their hands?
You see them tamping down the clay right there. As a hitter, they put clay in there so your cleats kind of stick in there nice and tight. If you have the dirt, you can slide around. So you see them tamping down that clay. That's so you get a good toe hold when you're in the batter's box. A quick turnaround for everybody. Players go in, grab a sandwich, grab a bite to eat, get back out here, a couple cups of coffee, and get ready for game 2.
We've got game notes for you. Last doubleheader in D.C. for the Pirates way back in 1899. Are you kidding me? The Nats are still very good here at the ballpark against the Pirates. 15-8 since it opened in 08. And the Nats, when scoring 2 runs or less, they still have the most wins of any low-scoring team in Major League Baseball.
A pretty good game one. They had their chances. There were some big opportunities early in the game. The bases loaded in the 5th inning. Big at-bat from Ryan Zimmerman. He popped up to first base. And I think the 7-6-4 double play in the 7th inning, when Jason Worth swung on a Roger Bernardina steal, he was around second base. And I think he thought that ball was getting over the left fielder's head. So he rounded second base, heading for third. The ball was caught, and all of a sudden he had a double play. And that was a big point in the game because Rick Hankiel just came off the bench. And he hit the home run on the 3-2 pitch. So the Nats had the momentum. All of a sudden, Roger Bernardina walked. So you got the winning run, the go-ahead run on the bases. That big double play took the wind out of the National sails. And,
of course, Danny Espinosa getting picked off second earlier in the game. Kind of an interesting day because the Nats scored during 2 innings early part of the ball game, but they had a base running problem in both of those. But Livan Hernandez, after giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, settled down beautifully after that first inning.
Yeah, and the first inning's been a bugaboo for Livan all season long. He gives up a couple of runs, and then what does he do? He does what he always does. He settles down, and a nice job after giving up 2 early runs to keep his team in the game, and he did just that. And you just had a feeling they were going to come on late, but a couple of home runs late sealed the deal for the Pirates.
And, of course, then they had Joel Hanrahan to turn out the lights on the Nats. And Joel Hanrahan continues to close games for the Bucks, 24 out of 24. So tonight it's John Lannon for the Nats. And he will face the Pittsburgh Pirates for the 9th time in his Major League career. They're not exactly the Phillies against him, but he has a score or 2 to settle against Pittsburgh. He's only 1-4 with a 4.63 ERA. Pirates are hitting .241 after game 1, and here's their lineup with Alex Presley, who was on base 4 times in the opener, 3 hits. Matt Diaz is back in there, and he owns John Lannon to the tune of 407 in his Major League career. Garrett Jones swung the bat, and so did McCutchen really well for the Bucks in that first game. So the Pirates are hitting .241. The Nats ERA down to 3.49 after that first game as the staff continues to pitch well. And here's John, 5-5 in his 18 start. And that ERA now down below 3.5.
Yeah, last time out against the Angels, probably not his best outing of the year. 5 2/3 innings, 3 runs on 11 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Remember, after the 3rd inning, 11 out of 16 Angels reached base. Talked to John after the game. He was not happy with his performance. I think you're going to see a fired-up John Lannon today, pounding the strike zone early and often. Fastball, slurve, change from John Lannon. Defense for the Nats behind John Lannon in game 2 of the doubleheader. Bernardina, Ankiel, and Worth in the outfield. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinosa and Morse on the right side, and Wilson Ramos doing the catching. And I think you're going to be interested in the Nationals lineup for game 2. A lot of shaking up going on in the batting order.
Gary Cederstrom, the 18-year veteran crew chief, has the plate. Adrian Johnson and Alan Porter have just flip-flopped. So for this game, it's Johnson at first, Porter at second, and Mark Lolo, who made his Major League debut in game 1 and did have a couple of check swing calls over there at third base. He will remain on the third base side here for the nightcap. Alex Presley will step in. And this kid's been impressive. 3 out of 4 with a walk in the first game. And he's 4 out of 8 with an RBI in the series. Batting .368 to start things off in his Major League career. And John Lannon's first pitch at 7:15 straight back as he squared around. Presley with a homer, 5 RBIs in his first 5 Major League games, 7 for 19. And Lannon delivers one hit out to shortstop. Desmond has it. Infield has been hosed down a bit. It'll be nice and soft for a while. And Presley hustling down the line wasn't thrown out by much right there.
No, he's got good wheels. A couple of hits in the first game for Presley. A little 2-for-3 action. Just a routine ground ball to short. That's a good sign for John Lannon. When he's rolling ground balls, he's got his good stuff. But we're going to have Presley get down the line, and that was bang, bang at first. An effortless little cruise down to first base, making it close.
Next up will be Chase Darno. He's 1 for 9 in the series after going 0 for 5 in the first game today. So the Pirates are 42-40. They're back to 2 games over 500. And the Nats will have to win this one to get it back to 42-42. John Lennon, who sometimes with that delivery looks like a dart thrower out there, right on target there. I know Davey Johnson was lamenting a couple of calls in the first inning of that first game. Looked like the Nats had a double play turn, and then maybe a runner out at second on a steal. They got neither call, cost him 2 runs. Danny Espinosa, John Lennon with another ground ball, 2 outs.
And to me, it wasn't about the calls in the first game. It was about some missed opportunities. The Nats had base runners all over the place and couldn't cash in. Hit a lot of balls hard. They threatened pretty much every inning except for the first and the third. Just couldn't get that big hit.
In that ball game, the Nationals would strand 9 base runners. But here's a new game. Don't even have to wait till tomorrow to get back at it. Andrew McCutchen 3 for 7 with a homer in the series. One of those back-to-back home runs in the 8th inning against Sean Burnett as he went to the bullpen and left. Right after Garrett Jones had gone deep. And that was the difference in the ball game. 2-0, and he misses up and away. John Lennon does. He gets it back full with 2 outs and nobody aboard here in the first.
Well, McCutchen had a nice first game, a double his first time up, a home run his last time up. So a couple of bookend extra base hits. It always feels nice as a hitter. Going to the second game, you got a couple of knocks, and then you start this one off with a knock too.
Now he's 4 out of 8, and he's got another extra base hit. Worth will have to hurry because this kid's thinking 3. He's going to get to third base just ahead of a high throw. One of the most exciting young players in the National League when he's going well is Andrew McCutchen.
And John Lannon's got a backup third base. He was kind of cruising over there, and McCutchen was going all the way. A lot of times a pitcher will just hang out, and if he starts to go to third, then he'll sprint over. But that was a triple all the way, and if that ball gets away, it's a run. Great piece of hitting right there. Just a challenge fastball, middle away, gets down the corner. Good hustle by Worth, good relay by Espinosa. Just a hair high, but if John Lannon's not behind that play, that is a run. He's trying to get back there, just a little tardy.
Cleanup man goes up swinging. Garrett Jones, who had a big first game himself, nearly missed a home run first time up. Later he'd have an RBI single, double, and a homer, as the left-hander took one way out there to left center field. Up the middle, Desmond shading that way, and he's got it. John Lennon gets a 0 in the first inning of the nightcap. Nats have a new look to their lineup. We'll tell you about that in a moment. maybe out to an early lead here. Let's see how it goes. New look offense, new look lineup. Most notably, Jason Worth in the number 5 spot behind Morse in front of Van Keel. Roger Bernardina in his last 17 games hitting nearly 300. He's 2 for 6 with a homer, couple of walks, and a sacrifice in this series. The Nats lineup packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Brad Lincoln, he's the pitcher nobody remembers from last June because he started against the Nats the night after Steven Strasburg pitched. In fact, he matched up against John Lannon. Both of them got a no decision in a 7-5 Nats win. Neither pitcher was around real long that night. Bernardina gets jammed and sounded like he broke his bat.
And last outing for Brad Lincoln was in AAA. He suffered a 12-3 loss against Pawtucket in his last start. 5 runs on 7 hits in 5 innings. So fastball, curveball change from Lincoln, and he can hit. Good hitting pitcher.
Yeah, how about that 400 batting average? Bernardina goes fishing upstairs, and he's gone.
Defense for the Pirates in game 2 behind Brad Lincoln. Presley, McCutcheon, Diaz in the outfield. Darno, Harrison on the left side. Walker and Jones on the right side, and Eric Fryer doing the catching.
Danny Espinosa up in the number 2 spot now, with Jason Worth being dropped down to 5. And Danny will look at a fastball that tails a little bit outside. He had Josh Harrison on the move in from third base there. I don't know if you could even measure with a millimeter how far off his bat he missed that home run by in the first game. Hit it an absolute ton. High in the air, pulled in by McCutcheon. Would have given the Nats, had it gone out, a lead. And then Drew Storn would have been pitching tonight, not somebody else. Right side bouncer, nifty pickup by Jones to the pitcher, who was feeling for the bag, and he found it. 2 outs.
And that pitch you were talking about with Danny Espinosa was a fastball down and in his turbo zone. He just missed it. Right there, you see a little roll over to first base. Espinosa hustling. That's something you work on every day in spring training. You do it during the season. Lead the pitcher right to the base. Find it with your foot. Little reach back right there with his foot. Might have been telling you that he wasn't too confident that he touched the base.
Yeah,
it looked like he did that.
That's the way we saw it. So the base is empty, 2 outs, and Ryan Zimmerman still looking for his first base hit of this series. 0 for 3 with 2 walks in the first game today. 0 for 4 last night. First 2 games of this series, the Nationals have stranded 17 base runners.
Bunch of hard hit balls for that guy in game 1.
Yeah. Two of them were rewarded.
One was a big league hanging with him to center field.
Yeah. Zimmerman reaching to Hopper. Neil Walker. So each pitcher off to a good start in the nightcap. No score. Bucks and the Nats. Top of the second nightcap. We invite you to call Luna for up to 70% off all your flooring at 877-241-LUNA. Shop smart. Shop Luna. Look at that going back. It's at about 80 some years almost. Danny Espinosa, 15 homers before the All-Star game by rookie second baseman. Even Joe Morgan and Ronnie Gant didn't do that. Neither did slugging Dan Uggla. And Danny almost had another one earlier today. So John Lennon back to work, 9 pitches, 6 strikes, 3 ground ball outs in the first inning. And he takes on Matt Diaz, and this might be the key matchup for John this evening. As we mentioned when we showed you the Pirates lineup, Matt Diaz dominating against John Lennon in his career. Adrian Johnson says no swing, 1 ball, 1 strike. Diaz steps in, hitting .267. It was in the cleanup spot for the ball game last night, despite not having hit a home run this year. We know he's got that kind of power. It's always been a good line drive hitter. And John Lennon's going to get another ground ball out. Desmond takes care of it.
And a 4th ground ball out already for John Lennon out of 5. Ian Desmond's had 3 of them, and you like that as an infielder. Give me some action early and often. Nice crowd for game 2. Everybody's sticking around.
Yeah. They will announce the attendance for the doubleheader at some point during this second game. No announcement was made, but I'll tell you, the left field side of the ballpark that was in the shade, hardly a seat to be found over there. I think some of those folks on the right field side snuck over there. Little cloud cover right now. It's delightful at the ballpark as Neil Walker steps in. Lennon paints the inside corner. John showing off some pretty good command here early.
Yeah, like I said earlier, he was not happy with his last outing. He couldn't wait to take the mound again. You have a bad outing like that, you got to wait around, get back out there. He just said, I didn't attack the strike zone.
That ball just foul.
He felt like he was nibbling too much against the Angels, and we've seen John Lennon when he's really good. He's very confident in his fastball, throws strike one a lot, has a good tempo going. And for whatever reason, he felt like he was nibbling too much, and Clint Hurdle's going to take a nice stroll out here.
Talk to the rookie umpire, Mark Lolo. Now, what kind of angle do you possibly have on that play from the third base dugout? Other than none. Oh, and he shoos away the home plate umpire.
With a big smile on his face, but you know what? I think Mark Lolo had a better view than Clint Hurdle.
Gary Cederstrom came about 20 feet up the third base line, and Clint Hurdle shoot him away.
And he's protecting the young guy. That's what you do. You've been around, you've got the plates. But don't go argue with the young guy. I'll take care of things. I've been here a while.
Lannon with another ground ball. Desmond, how about this? Good thing the ground crew really smoothed things out in between games.
Ian Desmond's going to have to ice his arm after this one.
Patriotic Cap Day Monday. The Cubs are here at 105. Celebrate Independence Day with us. First 20,000 fans receive that Patriotic Cap presented by 106.7 The Fan. Nationals.com/tickets. Come and join us for a lot of fun at the ballpark on Monday. Josh Harrison, the third baseman. 1 for 4 in the series. And obviously he can move around and play different places. He was at second last night when he had a base hit in 4 trips. Lennon working quickly and effectively, and it's now 1 ball, 1 strike. I have found over the years, and we don't have the number of conventional doubleheaders we had when I was a kid, when it seemed like every other Sunday there was one. But I've noticed over the years, FP, whenever you have a doubleheader scenario like this, the games are crisply played. Pitchers attacking, hitters hacking, and infielders making plays all over the place. 6 ground ball outs. Michael Moore swinging a good bat. 3 hits in this series. He'll lead off in a 0-0 game here in what we used to call the nightcap. And Keel for the Nats, 4, 5, and 6. In the first game today, the Nats drew 4 walks, so that brings the total up to $250 for $12,500. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield donating that money to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Washington, D.C. How about a healthier and more active lifestyle? Go for a walk. Take those first steps to accomplish your goals of fitness. Michael Morse had 3 really great at-bats in the first game. 2 singles and a hard line drive caught by the center fielder. Fastball inside, 2-0. Nats got a little help today. The Yankees beat the Mets 5-2 in the Subway Series. So right now the Mets and the Nats are 11.5 behind the Phillies, who won their ball game 5-3 at Toronto. Out to short. d'Arnaud. And that's the 3rd ground ball out for Brad Lincoln out of his 4 outs. Last year when he faced the Nats, he gave up a 2-run homer to Adam Dunn in the bottom of the first inning. Bernardina and Desmond got him for RBI hits as part of a 3-run 4th. But the Nats had trouble with John Lennon that night, going only 4 2/3, giving up 5 runs. The bullpens decided it. And that was, of course, everybody still shaking with excitement from what had happened here the night before on June 8th. Jason Worth had an RBI hit in the 9th inning of Game 1. He's 3 for 9 with a ribby in this series. All right, FP, he's batting 5th. Is this where he's going to be for a while, do you think?
Well, Davey's been talking about getting him into the 5-hole, and I think he'll be a little more comfortable here. That's where he's hit the majority of his career. Now, all of a sudden, you're not up in the first inning. You sit back, you look, you get a better read on the pitcher. So maybe, from a comfort standpoint, the 5-hole is good for Jason Worth. We'll see. He had a couple of good at-bats the first game. And a base hit in the 5th inning. He smoked a ball in the 9th inning. And that ball that he hit into a double play where Roger Bernardina rounded second base too far.
Yeah.
Hit that deep to left field. So some good signs for Jason Worth in the first game. And he's got a 3-0 count right now.
I bet a lot of folks are thinking, turn him loose on 3-0 if he sees the fastball down the middle. That one tailing just a little bit to the inside corner. Worth had that one blown right by him.
You just see the front side leaking just a hair for Jason Worth. His head pulled off of that baseball. And when he's right, that head stays down. He stays through the baseball, and he's thinking right back up the middle. A lot of times that happens, though. You get count leverage. You're heading to count 3-1. You're thinking about doing some serious damage. You overswing a little bit, and your head flies out of there. But that was a better swing with 2 strikes from Jason Worth.
Pawing away at the dirt. And a 3-2 again with 1 out. Good at bat. He's aboard with 1 down. Nats have their first base runner. Jason Worth walking for the 41st time this year. Tomorrow, it's the Bucks and the Nats at 1:30. Kevin Correa and Jason Marquis. Then the Cubs will be here on Monday for a 4-game series. And, of course, Independence Day, always a day game here in our nation's capital. 3 7 o'clock starts right after that, right here on Masson HD. Rick Ankiel comes off the DL with a vengeance. 3 for 3 in this series. A home run in between the 2 singles in this 7th inning blast. FP tied the game.
Yeah, 3-2 curveball from James McDonald. It was an interesting scenario. James McDonald looked in for a long time on the 3-2 pitch. And, as a hitter, when you see a pitcher taking that long, it doesn't take very long to put 1 down. And you think a 3-2 fastball, but he looked in. Now, all of a sudden, as a hitter, you start thinking about, well, maybe he's thinking off speed. You don't sit on that pitch, but now you have a little more off speed in the back of your head. And Rick Ankiel was all over that curveball on a 3-2 pitch.
By the way, that home run, 3 months to the day after his first one on a Saturday afternoon against the Atlanta Braves.
47 games he's played in since his last home run.
1 ball, 1 strike. And diving back in, Worth.
But it just kind of goes to show you the game within the game as a hitter. You're sitting out there, you're standing in the box a little long, 3-2, you're looking at the pitcher and he's looking in and you're saying to yourself, why is he taking so long right now? And then you start thinking about off speed, and he was all over that, and just a great at bat, and he's had a bunch of them in the last couple of days. It looked like Worth was going right there. That's a pretty good percentage.
One and one. And Keel can't stop on a pitch way upstairs.
And that was the book on Rick Ankiel before he got hurt. You don't have to throw him strikes. Very aggressive hitter. He'll go out of the strike zone. And opposing pitchers were preying on the fact that Rick Ankiel was swinging a lot.
Runner going. And Keel fouls it straight back. He was all over that pitch.
See, that's the game within the game all of a sudden for Rick Ankiel. You know, 1-2 count, you foul the ball straight back. Everybody knows that you were right on that. So do you deviate from looking for a fastball right here and sit on something soft with 2 strikes? It's a huge gamble. You get in the batter's box with 2 strikes, you have to respect a fastball, especially one in the mid-90s. But very rarely do you get the same pitch.
Runner holding this time, and it's way inside, 2-2. Brad Lincoln's 26 years of age from Texas. Ramos is on deck for the Nats. Lincoln pitched 3 years at the University of Houston, another one of those Cougars in the big leagues. They seem to be all over the place these days. And a 2-2. Worth poised, running. Foul ball.
So after playing 9 innings in the first game, run around on base a couple of times.
Yeah, why not?
Sliding down the warning track. Jason Worth is sucking gas all of a sudden. It's a good feeling, though. You feel like you're a part of it. You struggle for so long, you're not on base, you keep walking back to the dugout. He was on base a bunch in the first game, run all over the place, on base again. All of a sudden, you feel like you're a part of it.
Two, he's holding. Ooh, that's close. Rick Ankiel somehow taking that one just off the inside edge.
Let's check out how close it was. A little 2-2 fastball in the inner half. Good eye.
You would expect Worth to be running now with 1 out, full count. Ankiel's been hitting some line drives here. Target inner half. With the runner moving. Right side, base hit. Worth over to third. The Nats have a corner situation with 1 out.
Who's the new guy?
4 for 4, that's who he is.
Stay hot, Rick Ankiel. Perfect since his return. Great at bat right there. Gets a 3-2 center cut fastball. And Jason Worth, watch this. He has to bury his shoulder to get to third. When you're thinking about stealing the base, you're going straight into the base. You think about sliding. If it's a swing through strike 3, you got to slide it. All of a sudden, it gets through for a single, and now you have to really bury your shoulder, hit the bag, the inside part of the bag to get to third base and create a new angle.
Kind of like dropping the left wing of an airplane, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Good call.
Here's Ramos. Too many runners have been stranded in this series. Everybody knows that. And here's a chance with 1 out to do something about it. Wilson 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Fastball in there.
And when Wilson Ramos is right, he's thinking about letting the ball get deep and going the other way. Early in the season, when he was hitting so well, everything was to right center field.
Yep.
Ever since that walk-off home run, he looks to me, just from observing, like he's in pull mode a lot. He's looking for the ball middle in.
That's definitely a pull stance, and he pulls off the breaking ball.
Sometimes you get that feel as a hitter of hitting that ball that far. You just want to duplicate it, replicate it every single at-bat. But in this situation, runners in scoring position, the guys that drive in runs consistently think about the big part of the ballpark going the other way.
Good take on a breaking ball, smothered by Eric Fryer doing the catching for the Pirates tonight. One ball and 2 strikes. And Keel's a good base runner. Could be something happening over there at first. Pirates thought so. Rick Ankiel, not to be forgotten the fact he's missed a lot of time this year, and he's 7 out of 9 stealing bases. With the runner going, he fouls it back. I like it. A guy that if he hits the ball on the ground is a real double play candidate. And Davey Johnson trying to avoid that at all costs.
A couple of attempts with 2 strikes from Jason Worth. Now with 2 strikes, Rick Ankiel tries to go. And the hitter has to protect, obviously, but some good jumps from both of those guys. That's a good sign for guys on the bench. Ian Desmond on deck. You're looking at the jumps that your teammates are getting. They're getting a good read off Brad Lincoln.
Rookie catcher behind the plate, pitcher on the mound making only his 10th major league start. Ramos looks at a breaking ball that just stays up. Nats have shown some great plate discipline here. Worth, Ankiel, and Ramos in this second inning. Rick is getting back with no problem, doesn't have to dive in. Right across from Jason Worth at third. Long inning after his 13-pitch first inning. 2-2 to Ramos. Up the middle. No play at second. And so the Nats getting the runner moving and gets them a run here. Might have been hit too slowly for a double play, but the bottom line, FP, RBI number 23.
Yeah, bottom line, putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. Nice job, Wilson Ramos. It's all about getting that runner home. It's not about you getting a hit. And the fact that Rick Ankiel was moving on the pitch, that's a double play ball. It's a tailor-made double play ball if Ankiel's not running. So aggressive on the base pass early for the Nationals gets him a run.
And that's really making the Pirates pay for that walk. Number 8 man, Ian Desmond. 1 for 7 in the series. In the first game today, Ian, who takes strike 1, was 1 for 4, but other than his base hit, he struck out 3 times, and he's now fanned 74 times on the year. If he hopes to move up in that lineup, he's got to make contact.
It's a tough spot to hit for a young guy, though.
It is.
You got John Lannon on deck. He hasn't had a hit all season long. First base open with 2 outs, and you're in the 8-hole. And it's the old, do I expand my strike zone right here, go out of my strike zone to drive this run in, or do I take my walk? Because I guarantee you Brad Lincoln is not wanting to pitch to Ian Desmond when you got a guy on deck without a hit. You see that? That's just a tough pitch right there. And that's how hard it is to hit 8th in the National League. You got a guy like Livan Hernandez on deck or Jason Marquis, you might get something good to hit. No offense to John Lannon, but he doesn't have a hit this year. And if I was pitching, I would give Ian Desmond nothing to hit in this situation.
He is susceptible to breaking balls away, so why not stay out there? He got some of the plate with that one. Josh Harrison has it. And the Nats are gone in the second, but they plate a run thanks to Ramos after the Worth walk and the Ankiel base hit. Ball get a 1-0 lead into the third inning. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. That's PNC for the achiever in you. The minor league report. Chien-Ming Wong, the 31-year-old pitcher from Taiwan, rehabbing at Potomac right now. He's gone through 4 innings. He leads 2-0 against the Wilmington Blue Rocks with only 1 hit allowed, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts, and keeping the ball down.
I heard his last outing, he was 87 to 89 miles an hour, touched 90 a couple of times, so the velocity is back for Chien-Ming Wong.
Well, that could be interesting in September. Jordan Zimmerman has pitched over 100 innings. He's slated for about 50, maybe 60 more. So the way he's pitching, what's that, about 7 or 8 starts? Chien-Ming Wong could conceivably be in the major league starting in September. His health and time will tell. By the way, Zimmerman and Levon, of course, over 100 innings. John Lannon will go over 100 innings tonight, and Jason Marquis will go over 100 tomorrow. He better. He only needs 3 outs. Fastball is up and away to Eric Fryer, the catcher. Young man from Columbus, Ohio, who played at Ohio State. Don't hear about a whole lot of baseball talent coming out of that OSU. Originally drafted by Milwaukee. And he's been with the Yankee and Pittsburgh organizations now.
Doesn't he have to play for the Padres someday? That last
being a Fryer?
Yeah. These guys are digging the 60s numbers, aren't they?
Maybe they got together and said, when we all go to the big leagues together, let's do that 60s thing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hard hit. Zimmerman can't quite get it. And the Pirates have their second base hit. And for Eric Fryer, I've got that as his first major league hit. He was 0 for 6 in 2 games. They are calling for the ball from the Pittsburgh dugout. And he will remember a solid single for number 1.
Yeah, staying back nice. A crisp single to left field. Got it by a pretty good third baseman, too.
Now, is there a guarantee this guy's bunting? We're not sure. Brad Lincoln, in his big league career, 6 for 15 with 3 RBIs and 3 sacrifices. Handles the bat like a regulation hitter, and I think that bunt indicates that perfectly. Lannon to Morse, 1 out, sacrifice perfect.
And the best thing about that for John Lannon is he did it in 1 pitch.
7th ground ball out. Top of the order now, Alex Presley. Presley in this series has been impressive. 4 for 9 with a walk and an RBI. Good looking left-handed hitter from Monroe, Louisiana, who played at the University of Mississippi, called Ole Miss in the SEC. He was a good athlete in high school, played basketball, soccer, and football at Neville High School in Monroe. And he was the Pirates minor league player of the year last year. Tore it up at AA and AAA. This year he was hitting .336, as FP told you last night before they called him up, with 8 homers, 14 doubles, all kinds of offensive stats. Pirates took him in the 8th round back in 06. Good breaking ball by John Lannon, right where Ramos had the target on the outer half. 2 outs and a runner at third base. Every out on the ground. Nickelodeon Day is tomorrow. The Pirates will be here to close out the series at 1:35. Go to nationals.com/tickets, and you will see SpongeBob SquarePants and Dora the Explorer here at the ballpark tomorrow.
So it'll be an older crowd, I'm guessing.
Now, if we could only get Miley Cyrus to sing the anthem, it would really be something. Chase Darno. No, Bob did not say she was. I was just speculating. Don't call and say, where is she?
The broadcaster said Miley Cyrus was going to be here.
It'll be a fun day at the yard. Baseball, 4th of July weekend. Where else would you rather be?
I'm going to make a bold prediction and say D.C. Washington may be singing here on Monday. Desmond has it fly right by him. And the Pirates tie the game as Chase Darno gets his second hit of the series. Nothing cheap about the 2 Pittsburgh hits here in the 3rd.
And we talked about it a lot last night in the first inning of the broadcast. And these young players for the Pirates, how excited they are to be here and how they're trying to establish themselves at this level. Been impressed with Presley, been impressed with Darno. You see the base hit by Fryer. So while we're having a little fun with the 60 numbers they're wearing, these guys are playing the game right.
Yeah, bunch of baseball hippies. They're all in the 60s. Here's McCutchen, and he tripled his first time up right down the right field line. He was trying to make it 3-1 with that swing. Well, this is the reason in the batter's box that the Pirates parted with Nyjer Morgan a couple of years ago.
I'm going to say good move.
Yeah. And you would not be out on the limb. You're right up against the trunk with that one.
286, 12, and 42 from a guy that usually leads off. Now he's hitting 3rd. He hit 4th in the first game.
Yeah. He's kind of like Hanley Ramirez. You know, early part of his career, he led off. But when you got a guy with power and speed, you got to bat him 3rd. And he can absolutely fly. He was the 11th overall player taken back in 05 out of Fort Meade, Florida High School. First 2 full years, he's hit 286 and 286. With his base hit tonight, he's hitting 286. Not many young players are consistently good. He has been. Targets in on 2-1.
Yeah, those throwovers are coming from the bench. Trent Jewett is still running the run defense for the Nationals. He's giving signs to Wilson Ramos, and he's putting down throwover.
Same target now, and that's in there. It's upstairs, 3-1.
So the running game is controlled from the dugout. Wilson Ramos will look into Trent Jewett. Trent Jewett will flash some signs to Wilson Ramos. And he'll put down throwover or pitch out. The pitches themselves are up to the catcher.
John Lennon fills the count. And now Mark Strittmatter, the Pirates first base coach, will visit with Chase Darno. He'll be moving on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. And a dangerous extra base hit man in that batter's box. Two from Lannon. McCutchen high in the air, right field. Jason Worth to the wall. Unreachable, at least in terms of catching it. He got up there, timed his leap. And then it appeared, FP, he had a second chance unless the ball grazed that wall.
That's a long way out there. Tough to tell from where we're sitting, but good effort. And how about the opposite field pop from Andrew McCutchen? That ball was hit, folks, a long, long way. Worth got back to the wall. You look at the pitch, up. A lot of ground balls early from John Lannon. That pitch just up in the zone. Worth finding the fence. Good hops. I think that hit his glove, and he had a chance to catch it. This is a better angle right here. And that just did hit the fence, so
yeah,
it didn't matter whether he caught it on the ricochet or not.
McCutchen has a triple and a double. He continues to mash Washington pitching over the last 3 years.
The single shy of the cycle for the doubleheader.
Pirates lead 2-1. The inning will end that way as Espinoza throws out Garrett Jones. Pirates get 3 hits and they take the lead. 2-1.
Inning. Now, Pat Corrales rejoined the Nationals this weekend. He is Davey Johnson's bench coach and his right-hand man.
He's a good baseball man, and I was always on the other side of Davey, and enjoyed competing against him, and I'm going to enjoy this experience I have with him here.
Pat, of course, a familiar face. He was the longtime bench coach for Bobby Cox, and he's also very familiar with the Nationals' young players. He was roving the minor leagues, helping them out, and a lot of the guys glad to see him here. In fact, yesterday, Jerry Harrison told me I'm going to sit next to him and pick his brain as much as I can. Bob, FP?
Well, we have done that with Pat for the last couple of years on the road, at home. Just a wonderful guy to sit around and have a baseball conversation with. By the way, visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Debbie with our AFCEA sideline report. John Lannon 0 for 29, by the way, this year.
I got a feeling Jerry Hairston Jr. is one of those guys that you just don't want on the DL. Because he's in the dugout just bugging everybody all day, probably picking everybody's brain. He's one of those guys that you can't wait to get back healthy and get back out on the field.
Lannon, Bernardina, and Espinoza here in the bottom of the third.
That was Jerry. Very outspoken about the shadows in Anaheim, and I kind of liked it. Not too many guys are willing to go out there on that limb and talk about, you know what, that was dangerous. It wasn't just about me getting hits, it was dangerous, and there was more than one player on both sides that felt like that.
Must have been a cloudy day back in January when they scheduled that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lannon gets the bat on the ball over by the third base bag. Josh Harrison. John was hustling, and Harrison gets him by a step. Top of the order, bottom of the third, as we reach just beyond the 8 o'clock hour here in Washington, D.C. Pirates won the first game 5-3. Bob, FP, and Debbie with you here on MASN HD, and Game 2, MASN 2 HD tonight, as we play the second game of a double dip.
I want that hat.
I don't. That's embarrassing. Fastball is up and away to Roger Bernardina, who struck out first time up.
Look at changeup right there from Lincoln. Had Bernardina out in front. Good swing by Roger, but he was sitting dead red.
I was just thinking about that. Worth playing right field. A remarkable Exmo. We had a look at that. If Jason Worth had caught that ball and the umpire had gone out and called the hitter out, that's not reviewable. It's not a home run. He wasn't reaching over a fence. He was reaching up into the padding. That could have been an interesting brouhaha with a play like that that's in the park.
Well, that's where the base umpires come into play. Adrian Johnson, Alan Porter. You got to hustle out there. Sometimes, and they did on that play, but a lot of times you'll hear a manager argue plays like that because the umpire just turns around. And a lot of times umpires try to be still and keep their heads still so they can make that play. But if you're an umpire, you got to hustle out as far as you can get to get a good angle on that. And it took us a couple replays to figure out if that ball hit the wall or not.
Roger Bernardina takes one outside, and the count goes full with one out here in the third. He had a big-time rip at that. Brad Lincoln, rookie year last year, 11 games, 9 starts for the Pirates. He was 1-4 with a .666 ERA. Not a strikeout guy, 25 Ks in 53 innings. Second career start against the Nats in this ballpark and overall. Tried to paint the outside corner, he misses, and that's his second one-out walk issued. Does it for the second inning in a row. Espinosa coming up. Matt Stairs. Big hit last night. Got the Nats a walk-off with a drive off the right field wall. We'll get to some AT&T trivia facts for you here shortly.
He celebrated Canada Day by himself yesterday with a walk-off knock.
His home and native land. True Patriot love. We loved that line drive he had last night. Danny Espinosa pulled the ball to the first baseman first time tonight. Pitch out. Bernardina not going anywhere with his 11 stolen bases in 12 attempts.
We saw the good jumps by Worth and Ankiel early in this game. You figure Roger Bernardina gets a good pitch. With the jumps he's been getting lately, his speed should make it easy.
Danny Espinosa in this series 2 for 8 with a walk. Runner going, and right behind him is the ground ball. Might have been a straight steal. Espinosa makes it look like a really nice hit and run.
And we were wondering if the Nats would stay aggressive with Davey Johnson as their manager, and they have. You know, like the fact that Roger Bernardina is moving on his pitch, Danny Espinosa rolling over. A lot of times that looked like a hit and run. Roger Bernardina looking in there for a long time, and anytime you see a base runner rolling their head for that long, they're trying to pick up the baseball, and they know the hitter's swinging. So nice job by Danny Espinosa hitting behind the runner. Now it's up to Ryan Zimmerman to clean him up.
Well, these are the guys at this stage of the lineup who are paid to drive in runs. Ryan Zimmerman in this series is 0 for 8. Pirates have worked him away quite a bit and had him reaching. Second consecutive inning. The Nats have a first and third with one out. Ramos cashed in the run last inning with a slow roller to short. And Danny Espinosa at first base, a good base runner. See if Davey Johnson does anything with him based on the count. Zimmerman looks at a breaking ball just a little low.
Kind of interesting on the hit and run that Neil Walker was covering second base, and I think the fact that Danny Espinosa hit some balls hard the other way last night left-handed, lined out to left field, got himself a base hit, I think, to left field. Now all of a sudden a pull hitter's got the second baseman covered, and anytime the second baseman vacates, you hit a ball through there, it's first and third automatic. But most of the time you'll see the shortstop covering with a left-handed hitter up.
There's a double play ball. And Ryan Zimmerman is safe at first as the throw pulled Garrett Jones off the bag. So the Nationals get a big break. Bernardina scores and the game is tied.
That's a huge break. Cost the Pirates a run. That was tailor-made. That's a good feed by Walker, but d'Arnaud comes across and just comes underhand and launches that ball. Did he get down in time? Very close play at first. Nats catch a break. Start all over again.
If Ryan Zimmerman hangs his head and doesn't hustle, he would have been out. He kept chugging down that line, picks up his 13th RBI, and the Nats are back even here in the bottom of the third. And that also gets Michael Morse up to the plate, and you never know what he's going to do as he lies in first pitch ambush to foul that one off. One of the big culprits is extending an inning is a non-turned double play ball.
We always talk about the base runner going into second base. Let's give Danny Espinosa a little credit right here. You see the wide throw from d'Arnaud, but that's going to get somebody. Going out there, you feel a little traffic, and maybe you launch that throw. And it's all you have to be is within arm's reach of the bag. So that's a clean slide by Danny Espinosa.
I thought Danny was going to reach out and untie his shoe. Morse breaks his bat. Now he'll hustle down the line. Josh Harrison plays it. And the Nats will settle for a tie after 3 innings. Tonight, in this game, they've been opportunistic. There, Eric Fryer, rookie catcher for the Pirates. First big league hit, and he scored a run. Rick Ankiel continues to swing the bat beautifully, but the Nats have to get something done against Andrew McCutchen.
You saw the day Andrew McCutchen is having a double and a home run in the first game, a triple his first time up, and then this double high off the wall. I think Jason Worth might be the only right fielder in baseball that could even get close to this one. Good effort. Another double for Andrew McCutchen, RBI.
Top of the 4th inning, Diaz, Walker, and Harrison. John Lennon, 43 pitches, 31 strikes, all 9 outs on the ground. By the way, we just saw a note that Chen-Ming Wong did wrap up that rehab start. He got 4 scoreless innings of 2-hit ball tonight. Good for him. So he's made 2 rehab starts with Potomac and Hagerstown at the single-A level. Diaz hits one pretty well to right, but over to track it is Jason Worth for the first out. Diaz 1 for 5 in this series. Neil Walker is next. We just can't get enough of Matt Stairs. First walk-off hit in over 11 years for him last night.
Wow.
How about that? You know what that means, though? That means for his ball club over the years and different clubs, FP, he got a lot of big hits in the 8th and 9th innings on the road, which is even tougher to do, most think. So good for him, finally getting one for the home crowd.
Oh, I'm glad you put it that way. I was starting to think my old roomie never got a big hit.
No. Hey, well, remember the one in the playoffs for the Phillies?
Absolutely.
That was on the road.
Like Jonathan Broxton's ever been the same since then.
Yeah, into the right field pavilion, Dodger Stadium. So Stairs knows all about that road warrior thing. One ball, one strike to Neil Walker. Off the end of the bat. Ankiel will make the call and the catch. 2 down. There's always more when it comes to trivia. Lined one off the right field wall to win the ball game last night. Seattle, Oakland. Boy, he hit this ball the daylights out of it last evening.
We talked about it when he came to the plate. All of a sudden you get a couple starts in Anaheim. You got some ammo to go up there with. You got your timing back. Everybody out to greet Matt Stairs. They tried to lift him up.
First win for Davey Johnson as the Nationals manager. I'm really glad Ryan Zimmerman didn't get him off the ground. We'd be talking something in his oblique again, maybe. Limit your weightlifting to the weight room, Ryan. 1 ball, 1 strike. The hitters, Josh Harrison, third baseman. Once part of a trade for Tom Gorzolani. They brought him from the Cubs to the Pirates July 30th of 2009. Good breaking ball by John Lennon. Right in on the hitter's hands.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it, as soon as we show that graphic of 9 groundouts for John Manning, he gets a couple flyouts to start the 4th inning.
It's okay. It means he's changing eye levels a little bit. Keeps the ball down, trying to come back with a ground ball, and the count's 2-2.
94 miles an hour.
Wait a minute. Who's this on that mound?
It's on the scoreboard. It's on our gun. Same speed, 94 miles an hour from John Lannon. He's feeling it.
Zimmerman backhand. Across to Morse with a big stretch. It's another ground ball out. And a 1-2-3 for John Lennon with Worth and Ankiel coming up. does not sacrifice for his country. He takes out the Pittsburgh Pierogies, passing up an easy win to release George and Teddy for the stretch run. Look at Teddy. He's going at it.
Huge head on the Pierogies. Look at the impact of the cabeza on the Pierogies.
A pleasing result for the crowd, who at least could cheer for Teddy to try to catch George in the stretch run. He could obviously not do that. Bottom of the fourth, the Nats are coming up with Worth, Ankiel, and Ramos. Abe was on his way to a doubleheader sweep, and he gave it up for his teammates.
He got out to a quick start right there. Probably feeling uncomfortable, showing everybody up, and he wanted to go back and do some damage.
Well, he is a terribly honest fellow. Worth takes one just below the knees. He walked and scored the Nats' first run back in the second inning. I think all of us in spring training thought that the way the lineup would shake out would be Zimmerman third, LaRoche fourth because he's left-handed, and then Worth. And then Worth's slow start, moving all over the lineup. LaRoche injury. Now Davey Johnson trying to get some order back into this thing.
It's hard to explain, like, the mindset of a hitter when you get into your comfort zone. You get into a spot in the order that you're used to. A lot of times when you're hitting in a place you're uncomfortable with, they pitch you different. It just feels weird maybe coming up in the first inning all the time. And we're used to hitting fifth. Maybe you don't get up in the first inning, but also how many at-bats you're going to get a game. When you're leading off, you know you're guaranteed 5. So a lot of times you put pressure on yourself mentally to say, you know what, I need 2 hits to show for a 5 at-bat day, and you try too hard. Where if you're hitting down the order, and that's a big reason why managers drop guys down the order now, you can relax. You know you're going to get 4 at-bats. You're not going to get 5 usually, and you get to see how they're going to pitch a guy similar to you in front of you. I used to hit 7th. I used to watch how they pitched the guys in front of me, and by the time I got up there, I had a really good game plan.
Jason Worth strikes out. Second K of the game for Brad Lincoln. I'm looking at my scorebook from last April. That's April of 2010. And Worth, 2 weeks into the season, was hitting 5th between Ryan Howard and Raul Ibanez, 2 lefties, and he was hitting .357. So at least in Philadelphia, that was the spot where he was the most comfortable and the most productive. Rick Ankiel looking to drag one. He pulled a base hit through the right side first time up. And Ankiel in this series now has risen from the ashes of the DL to go 4 for 4.
It's a great idea. They got the shift on Rick. And Harrison is playing shortstop. And do it again.
Little pop fly over on that side. 2 outs. Expect flexibility with the new midseason flex plans. Pick 3 games. There's the 4th one free for you with the new Arrow ball cap. Nationals.com/flex for all your ticket information. We're going to be announcing a crowd, I believe, here in the upper 30,000 range. Some folks went home from the first game, but a lot have remained. And it's been a wonderful atmosphere at the ballpark today. Ramos rams one high in the air, right center. That ball is off the glove of McCutchen, right in front of the scoreboard. 2-out double, Wilson Ramos. And FP, there's that right center field thing you've been talking about.
I think he hurt us after his first at bat. Early in the season, when Wilson Ramos was locked in, he was going that way consistently, letting the ball get deep and driving it the other way. He's got enough power to leave opposite field. Look at the swing from Wilson Ramos. This is a great sign. Look at this swing. Fastball, backing it up, letting it travel, letting it get deep, and just driving it the other way.
Well, Ian Desmond would serve himself well by doing the same thing.
He's bracing for contact right there, and I'm wondering if the strobe light from the disco got in his way. You see that thing blinking behind him?
They're going to walk Desmond. Yeah, it's amazing. Our Exmo has so many frames per second it sees things on the scoreboard with the lights that we can't see with the naked eye. So they will not even pitch to Desmond and take on John Lannon here, who does, by the way, have 5 career runs batted in.
I see a lot of times a manager will leave it up to his pitcher and say, you know what, bounce a few, let's see if he bites, see if he goes after it. If he doesn't, we'll walk him. But I think when you got a guy like Brad Lincoln out there, Clint Hurdle's saying, I got a guy on deck without a hit, so I'm going to go after him. I was surprised. Ian Desmond got a hanging curveball his last time up. He rolled over on it to third base, but tie ball game. It's the 4th inning. Taking a chance with the 8-hole hitter. That's a big deal. And there's 2 philosophies. Dusty Baker, former manager of mine, always went after the 8-hole hitter because he wanted the pitcher to lead off the next inning. Felipe Alou, just the opposite. He would never pitch to the 8-hole hitter. He wanted to go after the pitcher because he said, you know what, that guy gets paid to hit in the 8-hole and the pitcher doesn't.
And John Lannon will hit the ball out to left center. Caught by Alex Presley. The Nats will strand 2 more. They've left 21 aboard in this series so far. Baseball on MASN, brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Built so you can rule the air. Such a beautiful night. The MASN yacht is anchored, and everybody's off the boat here at the ballpark. Part of this big crowd. It's gorgeous. Keep waving those caps, guys. Same way we salute our troops. It's our DynCorp International Troop Recognition. At DynCorp, we serve today for a better tomorrow. And our hats off to those young men and women, their families, their friends, for their sacrifices. Two-2 ball game, top of the 5th. It'll be Fryer, the 8-man, Lincoln, the pitcher, Presley, the leadoff man for the Bucks. Season series between these 2 ball clubs, even at 3 apiece. Kind of an odd situation this year with a team from the other division visiting our ballpark twice. The Nats will play 3 fewer interleague games this year than they did previously. 18 last year and 15 this year. And Lannon gets that nice easy out from the number 8 man and the pitcher coming up now. But look out, this guy can swing the bat. What a night. 29% humidity. And coupled with the folks who were here for game 1, I would think 35,000 paid their way in today and tonight. The $2 tickets sold out quickly, and there were other tickets available for this doubleheader as cheaply as $10. John Lannon paints the inside corner quickly. 0-2 to Brad Lincoln, who career is 6 for 15 now with 4 sacrifices. He laid down that bunt on the first pitch 2 innings ago like he'd been in the batter's box 50, 60 times this year.
That's a nice bunt. I've been hearing how he can hit. I'm anxious to see his swing.
Half swing. Punched out by Mark Lolo, the third base umpire, who made his major league debut in Game 1.
I'm anxious to see his check swing. Let's see it again. Did he go? Absolutely. Talking about the crowd, Bobby, it was fun for me in Game 1. It's the first time I've got to experience the atmosphere here at Nationals Park. Walking around, just watching a game that's not on TV, no monitors, just old-fashioned baseball, the sound of the bat, the glove, the crowd, the walk-up music the players are featuring, all the stuff that maybe sometimes when you're in the middle of a broadcast you don't get to experience. And this place has got a great vibe. I mean, you realize it up here, but when you're down, in the seats watching a game, keeping score, I have flashbacks to my youth, being a kid, going to the game. So it was great for me. And the first time I got to sit in the seats here at Nats Park and watch a game. It was fun.
Fastball at the letters, 1-1. Those are the Fenway-type seats on top of our own little green monster out in center field. Out to short. That'll be a two-hopper for Ian Desmond. John Lannon continues to impress. 11 ground ball outs tonight, halfway through, tie game. For the Nats, last time Bernardina came up, the Nats scored a run, and they got a chance to see Chin-Ming Wong down at Potomac. It's part of the great weekend the Potomac Nationals are having, all kind of holiday specials tonight, tomorrow, and Monday. Make the short drive down from D.C. when you're not in our ballpark and discover the Nats stars of the future, the defending Carolina League champions at Fitzner Stadium, Woodbridge. 703-590-2311, our PotomacNationals.com. Roger Bernardina 0 for 1 tonight with a walk and a run scored. He raced to third on a Danny Espinosa hit and run single. Scored on a Ryan Zimmerman double play ball that the Pirates did not turn. So speed bought the Nats a run right there.
Speed and hustle on the base pass. Good slide by Danny Espinosa to break that double play up. Good hustle by Ryan Zimmerman down the line. They talked about that in spring training. They wanted to establish an identity throughout the league that if there was a double play that was going to be turned, we were going to come in hard. And they were talking about that all spring training long. And it started with Bo Porter instilling that mindset in these guys that, hey, we want other teams to go over that in their meetings. That the Nationals are going to come in hard to second base and break up double plays old school style. And I think we've seen that for the majority of the season from most of these guys.
You know, in basketball, they call it floor burns when guys are diving around on the floor, making things happen. I think Danny Espinosa might have the most floor burns on the team in that department. Bernardina frozen by a breaking ball. Third strikeout for Brad Lincoln. Convergence pitch track.
A pretty good pitch from Lincoln right here. 0-2 pitch.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to throw the perfect strike, and he did.
Convergence Technology and Citrix are the winning team to desktop virtualization. Call the experts at 301-860-1960 or visit convergencetech.us. Danny Espinosa 1 for 2.
I think we've been talking about Jason Worth hitting fifth. I think it's very important for Danny Espinosa to have a good night batting second and being comfortable this high in the order. I'm sure he's hit second a lot in his career, but not a whole lot this year. I remember early in the season he was leading off a little bit and hitting second. And anytime you get to a new slot in the order, early success is key.
And if he can do that, the Nats have a really interesting combo of speed and power up top with Bernardina and Danny. These two kids combined have hit 20 home runs and driven in 65 runs. Danny, of course, the bulk of that. And the chance to be a very deadly combo, swinging the bat at the top of the order. That's outside, 2-1. And Danny, while aggressive, does have a good knowledge of the strike zone. He has drawn 25 walks this year. He hits that ball hard to the gap, and McCutchen can't get it. Espinosa racing into second base. He's 2 for 3 tonight, and that's his 4th hit of this series.
Serious backspin on the 13th double of the year for Danny Espinosa. Watch this swing. Get on top of it, knock down 2-iron, create backspin. Anytime Andrew McCutchen's in center field, you're thinking he's got a chance to catch it. Not on this one. That ball was smoked. So a couple of knocks in the 2-hole, feeling good about hitting second. Danny Espinosa.
Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 9 in the series, but he did get himself an RBI by hustling down the line 2 innings ago when the Pirates failed to turn a double play ball. He bangs this one to left. And it's going to be caught at the edge of the track by Alex Presley. That's why you play guys like that deep.
Man, the last thing Ryan Zimmerman wants to hear from his teammates is way to swing it, but that was a good swing. And sometimes as a player you get frustrated when you keep coming back to the dugout and guys are like, way to swing it, way to swing it. Well, am I standing on first base? But that was a good swing. That ball was crushed. And you look at where Presley's playing. He's playing Michael Morse in the same spot. Almost a no doubles type defense. It's probably the deepest I've seen a left fielder play here all season long.
Yeah, any kind of base hit into the outfield will score Espinosa easily. Morse 2 grounders tonight. 3 for 10 in the series, and 2 of those hits coming in the first game of the Twin Bill today.
And look how deep Alex Presley is playing.
Counts even to Michael Morse.
And Bobby made a good point with power hitters up there. You play a little bit deeper, but this right about here is where most left fielders play. So he's about 5 or 6 steps deeper than I've seen most guys play. And when you have a speedy guy like Danny Espinosa on second base, a lot of times you'll see guys cheat in so they can throw a guy out at the plate. But that's not the case.
Clint Hurdle's corner outfielders don't play as close to the gaps as most teams do when they come in here. Almost every team will bunch toward the gaps because pretty much everything down the line's a double, and they figured they could take away a 3-bagger if they bunch to the gaps. But the Pirates under Clint Hurdle really don't do that. I mean, when Josh Willingham was here, there's an advertising sign out in the left field bullpen, that yellow sign out there. He'd play in line with that. So far, I mean, he was 120 feet off the line.
When you got a center fielder like McCutchen, you don't have to bunch the gaps. He's got the gaps covered.
2 balls and a strike. Way inside to Michael Morse. Looking for RBI number 47 to put the Nats on top here in the 5th. Inner half, 3-2.
That pitch might have surprised Michael Morse. It's probably been a while since he's seen a 3-1 fastball right down the middle with first base open and 2 outs.
He got a breaking ball on 3-2 and was able to react to foul it off. First game today went 2 hours and 57 minutes. We've got a good game flow going in this one. And tonight it's brought to you by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. The lead run at second base, 2 outs. Runner going. Morse up the middle. And thrown out at first base is Michael, as Kenny Espinosa was running with 2 outs. 2-2 game into the 6th.
Landon pitches, we keep track of the ground ball outs. Jason Marquis got the ground ball meter, but we can put one on John Land tonight, and Ian Desmond's got a lot of work. 5 assists at shortstop tonight. You don't take that many ground balls in infield. He is getting a lot of action, and I guarantee you that's the way he likes it. As an infielder, you like the fact that you know your pitcher's working fast, he's in the strike zone, he's throwing a lot of ground balls. There's nothing worse than getting your first chance in the 9th inning. I guarantee you Ian Desmond loves the fact that John Land has been down the strike zone. He's working fast all night long.
Everybody on their toes. 63 pitches in 5 innings. 36 of them strikes. Or is that 46? Yeah, 46. Chase Darno, RBI hit. A one-hopper that rifled by Desmond. Last time up, Ian reached out, got a piece of the ball. The battling Buccos. Andrew McCutchen, the only Pirate with 2 hits, triple-double RBI, the other ribby from Darno. Eric Fryer, first major league hit back in the 3rd. He scored that run for the Pirates that put them on top 2-1. John Lennon, 92.
He is feeling it tonight. 94-mile-an-hour fastball last inning, 92 on that pitch. And more importantly, the location, down and in, almost unhittable.
Back in their heyday in the 70s, the Pirates were known as a team that drafted and developed lots of hitters. Of course, Clemente and Stargell. Dave Parker was a Pirate originally. Richie Hebner, Bob Robertson. Back in their heyday, they could all swing the bats, and they've got some young guys in this ball club who really swing it.
Some guy named Bonds.
Yeah, he was all right. A little later than that era, but he certainly carried the banner through the 90s for them until going off to San Fran. And Ryan Zimmerman helps John Lennon get another ground ball out. Number 12.
And he's been working on his throw, and he said it's going to be a process, but you look right here, he gets his feet underneath him. Good, strong throw right on the money. I think when you're talking about changing your mechanics at third base, it's going to take a while. keep working hard, you're going to see the results. And that was a good throw.
One of the few times you'll ever see Ryan Zimmerman back up on a ball, but it was the good play to do. It gave him a good setup for that throw. Oh my, McCutcheon hammers one right off of John Lennon, who throws him out. And he immediately tells the dugout he's okay.
He looked at Steve McCaddy and said, you stay right there. But you got to go out and check him. That ball was roasted. Little Bellata action on the line drive off his foot. Look at McCaddy checking out his pitcher right now. This ball was a laser beam, and it hit him right in the bottom of the shoe. Checks up nicely on the green. He goes over. He makes the play. Let's listen to the sound of this line drive. Got him in the heel. Good spot.
Well, there's one way to get that guy out. Get your body in front of a laser beam. That goes for a single. He'd be just a homer short of the cycle. Base is empty, 2 outs. Garrett Jones has bounced out twice.
There's some soccer players watching this wondering how John Lennon did that.
They would have called that a good trap.
Yeah.
He kept it close.
You might have to go get some new shoes.
Good looking breaking ball, a little bit outside, 2-1. John Lennon's on a roll here. One more out, he goes 6 for the 10th time this year. And a pop up to Desmond will get that done. 6 strong innings by John Lennon. Worth, Ankiel, and Ramos coming up in a 2-2 game.
Sixth inning, time for the Coors Light freeze cam. Let's go back to the potential double play. Danny Espinosa doing a nice job of breaking it up for a run. Check him out. He's going way out there, trying to get d'Arnaud, reaching out with his arm, pretty far away from the base. Look at the underhand throw, and I think the release point right there was why it was so high. And Danny Espinosa run a little traffic. Got the Nats a run. A big run in this ball game. Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, the ball club not hitting much, taking some good swings, but right now having to scratch out runs. And you know, you have to give the Pirates a lot of credit. They came into this doubleheader today with the 5th best staff ERA in the National League. Yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Washington Nationals, numbers 5 and 6 in the National League in team pitching. It's what's kept both of these ball clubs around the 500 mark later in the season than both have been able to accomplish in recent years. 0-2 to Worth, target away. He strikes out again. Jason Worth is 3 out of 11. And he has struck out 3 times in this doubleheader, 3 for 11 in the series. And the Nets box We'll show a couple of hits by Danny Espinosa. RBIs in the second, ground ball by Ramos. In the third, ground ball Zimmerman. Here's Rick Ankiel. They finally retired him on a soft pop-up last time, after he had gone 4 for 4 coming off the DL yesterday in this series. They go to jamming him, and it's fouled straight back. Masson giving away 30 prizes in 30 days, including signed jerseys and other Nats gear. All you have to do is visit facebook.com/Masson Nationals for a chance to win. 1-1 to Ankiel, inside target again. They jam him, and this is almost the same result as last time. They got tired of seeing the ball out over the plate and him hammering the thing. Bases empty, 2 outs, with Wilson Ramos coming in. Part of the beauty of this ballpark, as opposed to some of the other new parks we were in, is that Mark Lerner and company have been very aware of aesthetics. You do not see signage in every nook and cranny of the ballpark. You see a lot of green, a lot of seats, and it's just a beautiful place to watch a baseball game.
A lot of fans tonight. Look at that. Fireworks after the game, a couple of ball games.
But I talked to Mark about that 3 years ago when they opened this place, and they were very aware of the fact that they didn't want it to be a trash heap full of advertising signs. On a close play at first base, hanging in there, Garrett Jones to make a good play. 2-2 into the 7th.
Go back to Ryan Zimmerman. We've been talking a lot about his throwing, and he's been working out in the cage every single day. So a tough play in Anaheim. He didn't get his feet underneath him, threw the ball up the line. Danny Espinosa had no chance with the runner bearing down on him. We talked about it earlier, and this is earlier yesterday. A good throw. So similar plays, good throw by Ryan Zimmerman. We talked about he's in the cage every day working on his throwing, so he's made a couple of good throws tonight, working on new mechanics because of the injury. And I've talked to him about it. He said it's going to be a process. But you have to admire the fact that here's a guy reinventing his throwing technique, his throwing form in the middle of a season, getting here early. A lot of times it's not out in front of everybody on the field. It's in the cage by himself. 2:30, getting here every day, working on stuff. And that's why he's so good.
The glove is as good as anybody who's played third base since Mike Schmidt. If he straightens out the throwing issues, Ryan will win Gold Gloves again. First pitch, base hit, top of the 7th, Matt Diaz. John Lennon this year has gone 7 innings or more 3 times. He is due to bat second in the bottom of this inning. The pitch count is fine. That was only his 74th pitch of the night. Neil Walker has bounced to short and flied to center. Runner goes. Ground ball. Espinosa gets a piece of it. And for the Pirates, it's going to turn into a perfect hit and run. All the way to third base, Matt Diaz. How about that?
Clint Hurdle not waiting around, goes hit and run.
Yeah, 2 pitches and 2 pieces of action.
Nice effort from Danny Espinosa. A lot of guys don't even get to this baseball, but he got there in time. It just couldn't stick in his glove. Good effort. Good hustle. Now the Pirates have first and third in a tie ball game.
Third baseman Josh Harrison, the hitter. He's bounced out to each corner infielder. Pirates have out-hit the Nationals in this game 6-4. As the Washington bats continue to be very quiet. The Pittsburgh bats, they're swinging at everything. They are in attack mode here in the 7th inning.
And that play, hit and run that Danny Espinosa just tried for, those plays used to frustrate me more than making an error. Because you go so far for the baseball, you dive, you have the ball right in your glove, you're thinking highlight reel, standing ovation from the crowd. I'm going to get up and make a great play, and the ball just doesn't stick in your glove. And you're running for it, your head's bouncing, so it's hard for that ball to stick. Good effort. It is frustrating because you want to make the highlight reel play.
Double play ball. Desmond Espinosa and Morse. The Pirates score a run to take a 3-2 lead. So both teams got what they were playing for right there.
A routine double play, but nothing's routine until you make the play. Get a little in-between hop right there. He and Desmond doing a nice job of giving with the baseball. 6-4-3 double play, and that's how the Pirates do it. The scrappy Pirates will hit and run, get a run across the plate.
Bases empty, 2 outs. Eric Fryer, the catcher. Well, with Ryan Matthews warming up and the Pirates having taken the lead, this just about guarantees that this will be it for John Lennon. We'll see if he can finish with a flourish here, going 7 innings. He did it most recently June 16th here against St. Louis in a 7-4 win. He's done it at San Francisco and at home against the Padres. Desmond up the middle. John Lennon will have 16 ground ball outs in 7 innings. Pitching very well. Now he needs some help from his teammates to get off the hook. Local Ford dealers. Mr. Jefferson's Memorial looking beautiful on this Saturday evening in our nation's capital. Holiday weekend. Tight ball games. Well played, well pitched so far. 3-2 Pirates. We're still waiting for that offense, but you can't say anything negative at all about this pitching staff. John Lennon getting it done like Levo did in the first game.
Tons of ground ball outs. Been down the strike zone all night long, keeping his defense in it behind him, but Now you'd like to see some fireworks from the offense.
Yeah, so what's the deal? I mean, the 2-out hits, they're not coming again. Looks like the Nats really came alive in the last homestand, got some runs in Chicago, but this whole week has been really quiet.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, and I think if the Nationals knew what the deal was, they'd figure it out too, but that's just the way baseball goes. I mean, they're looking for hits, but there's other ways to score runs. We saw Danny Espinosa breaking up a double play today. Got to get some guys on, get some guys over, and do the little things. And talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates, they just did it right there. They scrapped and clawed and got to run across the plate, and sometimes that's what it takes when you're not hitting, is doing all the little things on offense.
Daniel McCutchen now will take over as they get 6 innings of 2-run, 4-hit ball out of Brad Lincoln. Nats saw McCutchen in the 7th inning, a scoreless frame when he got a double play ball last night. So 4 strikeouts for Lincoln. He walked 3 batters, 1 intentionally, and he has a chance to get a W out of this.
And don't forget, Bob, it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning now.
Yep.
It's winning time. This is how they lately have been figuring out ways to win a baseball game. We've joked about how they're bored for 6 innings. Well, it's about that time.
Desmond leads off, and McCutchen misses. Lance Nix has walked to the on-deck circle. Desmond gets jammed, flies it near the left field line. Presley on the move. And he's got it for the first out. Don't forget about the Patriotic Cap for the first 20,000 fans Monday. Cubs here at 105. Caps are presented by The Fan 106.7. Nationals.com/tickets. Lance Nix will pinch hit with 1 out here in the 7th inning. His overall numbers as a pinch hitter, Lance Nix is 1 for 11 with a couple of RBIs. So he hits for John Lannon, who pitched 7 innings and got 16 ground ball outs. Nix, normally a base hit, but the Pirates haven't played perfectly. 2 outs. That's some pretty good advanced scouting right there. Roger Bernardino will be next. Matthews has been joined by Clippard. Matthews, if the Nats are behind, most probably going into the 8th, and Clippard if the Nationals could tie it or take the lead. Roger Bernardino, 2 strikeouts, around a walk tonight. He's 2 for 8 in this series. And he's been on base 5 times. .135 first pitch from Jason Marquis tomorrow. Kevin Correa, who's a 10-game winner going for the Pirates. He's 10-6 with a 3.79 ERA. Marquis looking for his 8th win. Good pitching matchup on the final day of this series. This weekend and this season series.
You talk about a tough turnaround. Just, 25 minutes between games today? But having to play 2 games on a Saturday and one of them being a night game and then coming back for a day game on Sunday. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams answer the bell.
Against 2 really good pitchers. I've noticed these Pirate right-handers have started jamming the Nats left-handed hitters. They did it to Ankiel his last 2 times up, and they've been doing it to Bernardino. Targets away this time, so they'll show him something out there on 0-2.
Always dangerous with a guy with some pop, pitching him in. You leave it out over the plate, you put a run up on the board in a hurry.
He's suddenly hot hitter on deck. 2-2. And that is outside the bag for a foul ball.
Well, Roger must have had a good view of that because he didn't even run. A lot of times you'll see a guy take 4 or 5 steps and realize it's foul and then go back. But he just stood in the batter's box. Everybody else fielding it like it was fair.
Two to Bernardina. Did he swing? He did not. And the count goes to 3-2. Eric Fryer came popping up to tag him because evidently the ball must have hit the ground.
I thought the Nats caught a break on this one. I thought he went. Let's check it out. Yeah, it looked like he held up. He just did that little circle with his barrel. And it looked like originally he went farther than he did. Nice job of holding up.
3-2 pitch with 2 outs.
Well, that's one that Roger wants back. That was a center cut fastball right where he was looking. Fouled it straight back. He was on that.
Bernardina, what a take. He's aboard with 2 outs, and suddenly Roger Bernardina has the best eye in the ballpark. He's walked 4 times in this series. Let's have a look. Citrix pitch track.
That's a great take and a great at-bat from Roger Bernardina. You fight off a couple tough pitches with 2 strikes, get yourself on base with 2 outs, and for me, he's got to be on second base in the first 2 pitches.
Citrix and Convergence Technology experts in desktop virtualization. They can help your company achieve efficiency and cost reduction. Call the experts. 301-860-1960 or convergencetech.us.
Find a way to get to second base.
Danny Espinosa single and a double his last 2 ABs. Started this game batting .239. He's at .243 on that relentless march of his up .250, and then the sky's the limit.
A quick move from McCutchen, and he was quick to the plate on the first pitch to Espinosa.
Danny Espinosa, by the way, in this doubleheader is 4 for 7. And he came into this game hitting .423 over his last 17 games. So over his last 18 ball games now, he's up in the .440 range.
Solid day at the office.
Ball 2.
Seen it big. 1-0, you're looking for a fastball. You get a changeup down the zone, you take it like that, you're seeing the baseball large.
Tying run, first base, 2 outs, bottom 7. Espinosa with a 2-0 count. And he takes the fastball down the middle. Big crowd waiting for that one swing. Great take, ball 3.
And McCutcheon has given Roger Bernardina no chance to steal. Very quick to the plate right now. Just had him at a 1-1-2 right there. And that is too quick to go unless you just get some kind of rhythm or tempo from the pitcher where he's 1001, 1002, and he goes to the plate. But he is making it tough on Bernardina.
3-1, Espinosa taking the walk. A pair of 2-out walks get Ryan Zimmerman to the plate here.
And a pretty good at bat last time from Ryan Zimmerman. Flew out deep to left field.
Ray Searage, the pitching coach.
And see, this is where it could get very interesting the second half of the season for the Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman gets hot, Michael Moore stays hot, and Jason Worth locks it in and starts to swing the bat better. You're looking at 3, 4, 5. I mean, what do you do in a situation like this? And you got your 2 rabbits on. You got Roger Bernardina on second base. Maybe Danny Espinosa starts hitting second in the second half of the season. He stays locked in. Now all of a sudden, this is looking like a pretty good offense.
You know, if there's any conversation I'd love to hear during a game, it's the manager and the bench coach all night long. A guy like Corrales, a guy like Johnson. How fascinating would that be?
Well, you want to have somebody you can trust as your bench coach, and you also want to have somebody that's not afraid to tell you that's the wrong decision. You have to have that relationship to where, you know, Davey, I don't want to do that right here. I think you should do that. A lot of times bench coaches are so in awe of the manager that they'll just shake their head and say, yeah, that's the right move. And that's why he wanted Pat Corrales there, because that's a guy you have a relationship with to where you can bounce things off. What do you think about this? And you know you're going to get an honest answer. I've seen many times where the bench coach is just sitting there going, that's exactly what I would do, Skipper. And you don't want that guy. You want a guy that's not afraid to say, no, that's not the right move. I would do this.
The Nats are not biting on Daniel McCutcheon's constant efforts to get them out near the outside corner. 2 walks in a row, and now a great hitter's count. A great hitter on deck as well. Zimmerman trying to attack the 2-0 heater.
And that's how you're supposed to swing when you're heading the count 2-0. Let it fly. And he's thinking 3-run tater right here, just squaring up the baseball. Got real big, but that's how you're supposed to swing. Crowd's getting into it.
Right in there. Strike 2.
The crowd didn't like the call. I had it as a strike. Maybe the bottom of the zone. What does pitch track say? Bottom of the zone. Good pitch.
Yeah. Ryan Zimmerman strikes out. Nats have stranded 7 in a 3-2 game. T-shirts right now, hopefully flashing some late inning offense coming up. 3-2 Pirates lead. If you're hitting the road, take the Nats with you. MLB.tv, every game live on demand on your computer or your favorite device. Nationals.com for more details and to order. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Ryan Matthews came into the ball game in the ninth inning of Game 1 with 2 men aboard, a run in, and he struck out Darno and Garrett Jones. Got the game to the bottom of the ninth. Nats were down 3. They scored run, but it was a good job by Matthews. Brandon Wood will hit for the pitcher McCutchen. Wood evidently had come in on the double switch when McCutchen came into pitch, and so he will fly it to center field. Bullpen had some big-time struggles in the first game, but Debbie Taylor overall pretty solid all year.
Well, that's right, Bob. And Davy Johnson had to use 3 relievers in the first game, and he's actually now a little short in the bullpen. Henry Rodriguez has strep throat, so he is not feeling good and is unavailable.
Yeah, he sent Henry Rodriguez home today. Trust me, that strep throat is nothing to mess around with. Very contagious, and often that's what teams do. When somebody's contagious, you just don't want you around the ball club till you get better.
Unless they're healthy and hitting, then you want them touching everybody. So Matthews takes over for Lannon on the heels of another great outing by John Lannon. Alex Presley, 3 ground balls tonight. 4 for 11 in the series. Matthews, and we saw this in Game 1 again, he has swing and miss stuff.
He does. It's just about getting ahead in the count. We talked about it in Anaheim. His stuff definitely plays at this level. There's no doubt about it. It's just about getting ahead in the count. And so far, so good. 95 miles an hour.
How about this crowd tonight and a great game flow? It's from Hankook Tires. Be one with it. Hankook Tires. 39,638 here tonight. And that's almost 600 people more that were in the ballpark for opening day. Opening day, the announced crowd was just over 39,000. Actually 39,055, and tonight 39,638. Play well, promote well, give them a reason to come, and they will come to the ballpark here in Washington.
And fireworks never hurt.
That helps.
All the $2 tickets, fireworks, a doubleheader. A great day at the yard.
Check swing. Yes, says Mark Lolo. Tell you what, the rookie umpire on his major league debut day, he has not hesitated to punch out at least 3 hitters on check swings.
In my experience, as a second game of a doubleheader, if you even flinch at the plate, guess what? You went cha-ching. An elevated fastball from Ryan Matthews, and I think it looked like he held up.
This would be a good out for Matthews to get the way the on-deck hitter swinging the bat right now. That is McCutchen. Up the middle. It's got enough velocity to get through. And Andrew McCutchen, who got his 6th and 7th career hits against John Lannon earlier tonight, will step in. And always dangerous the way he's swinging here with 2 outs. In this series, McCutchen is 5 for 10 with a homer, 2 RBIs, and a whole fistful of extra base hits. Double last night, double homer. First game tonight, triple double. Second game tonight. Runner goes, great jump, and it's out of play right side.
I guess if you got a bunch of extra base hits in the doubleheader, you go ahead and swing when you're heading to count 1-0. But d'Arnaud had that base stolen.
By the way, interesting note, Andrew McCutchen's last 7 hits have gone for extra bases.
So he just figured d'Arnaud was getting a head start.
I guess. They're trying to drive him home. Jason Bay, the last Pirate to do that back in 2008. Last major leaguer to do it, Carlos Pena of the Cubs, earlier in June. Though he had him leaning. A little drop of that right shoulder.
Definitely going right there. And Davey Johnson not in a situation where he can pitch out behind the count 2-1. So maybe a throw over again, maybe a slide step, pick up your tempo to the plate. Check him one more time. Got back easily that time.
Top of the 8th inning, Pirates lead 3-2. They won the opener 5-3. 2-1 count. Runner holding. And a foul tip. Counts even. Runner goes. McCutchen, ground ball, Zimmerman, backhand. This will have to be fast, and he pulls Morse off the bag. Base hit for McCutchen, his 3rd of the game. He could easily be 4 for 4 tonight.
A good stop by Zimmerman. Then all of a sudden you think about the speed of the hitter and you get rid of it a little too fast. And throw up the line. I don't even know if a good throw has him. He was getting it.
If it's not right at you, he's got a chance to beat it.
I mean, speed kills. It also makes you do funny things on defense. And that is the cycle for McCutchen in the doubleheader. Single, double, triple in this game. A home run and a double in the first game. So we were talking about Danny Espinosa having a good day office. That is a great day at the office. Wow.
6 for 11 in this so far 3-game series. Colin Ballister pops up. Garrett Jones is 0 for 3. McCaddy to the mound. As after 2 quick outs, Brian Matthews runs into 2 hits here. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
Now, we talk about all the time the bullpen guys, and it's not always about guarding the lead. It's keeping the deficit right where it is. When we talk about 6 outs left offensively for the Nationals, this becomes a very crucial part of the baseball game. They can't allow any more runs.
Low and away with a fastball. Garrett Jones has big-time power, put on quite a show here in the first game. Homered in the 8th after a single and a double, and he nearly homered in the at-bat when he got the single. Just missed the right field foul pole.
That was supposed to be fastball in right there. Missed his location, got away with one. A lot of times you have velocity that's 94, 95 that allows you to make mistakes in the strike zone. So Brian Matthews trying to get that ball into Jones, left it out over the plate.
This guy, the Pirates signed him as a minor league free agent back in December of '08. In his first 2 years in the big leagues, he's at 21 homers each time. Atlanta drafted him, released him. Minnesota grabbed him, let him go. He's found a big-time home in Pittsburgh. And he's been around for a while. Turned 30 years of age on the 21st of June. But never played in the minor leagues until he was nearly 28. Or major leagues, rather. Big-time talent. Target in.
With the speed on first base, getting a head start on 3-2, this becomes a huge pitch. You don't want to go full count with a runner on first base. So this 2-2 pitch becomes a huge pitch because you don't want to fill up the count. Anytime you got a guy like Andrew McCutchen on first base, he gets a head start. He's going to go 3-2, 2 outs. Anything in the gap he can score on. So you want to seal the deal right here if you're Ryan Matthews.
He went change up on 2-2 and missed outside. Darno at second, McCutchen at first, off to the races. And we'll do it again.
And that's how you have to think if you're fast on first base in a 3-2 count, 2 outs, if they're not holding you, which they're not because there's runners on first and second. I always used to think score. Obviously, the guy on second base scoring on a base hit, but when you're the trail runner right here with nobody holding you on, if you have any kind of speed, you're thinking about scoring. Because you have third base made easy. On a base hit, you're automatically going to third base. Anything where the outfielders have to move and you're fast at first base, you're thinking about scoring.
And Matthews will pop him up on the payoff pitch. Ryan Zimmerman. This one into the bottom of the 8th with Morse, Worth, and Enkeel coming up. 8-4, trailing 3-2. Bottom of the 8th coming up. They will close out the series tomorrow. Kevin Correa, 10-6. He lost to the Nats, going fewer than 5 innings on April 24th. Jason Marquis, 6 starts at home, 4-0 with a 2.13 ERA here. He'll be trying to make his record 8-2. 1 o'clock, Nats Extra here at the ballpark. FP and I join you at 1:30. First pitch from Marquis at 1:35. Chris Rhysop, the new pitcher, and he'll have some defense with him. Lyle Overbay will take over, and he'll bat 7th at first base. Rhysop was nails last night in the 8th inning. He had 3 strikeouts to get the game into the 9th, and then everything imploded on the Pirates with Tim Wood, who was at spring training, by the way, with the Nats, and the Pirates let him go today.
And we were impressed with Chris Rhysop last night. All fastballs to the heart of the Nationals order. 95 miles an hour. He's got a curveball and a change to go with it. So very impressed with the good old-fashioned country hardball from Chris Rhysop. If you're Michael Morse, guess what? You know you're going to get a good piece of cheese right here. Just get the head out.
Garrett Jones moves to right field. So Matt Diaz is out of the ball game. So the Pittsburgh pitcher is batting 5th. Michael Morse 0 for 3 tonight, 3 for 11 in the series. And Rhysop hits him right on the arm, maybe wrist or hand area.
Let's see where this one got Michael Morse. He's thinking, I'm looking for a first pitch fastball, and gets it right on the forearm. I guess all things considered, that's a good spot. A lot of muscle there, better than the hands. We saw what happened to Jerry Hairston down the wrist. Let's listen to it. Oh. Not the way Michael Morse, pitcher, getting on here, leading off the 8th, but you know what? Leadoff man on. Nats will take it.
Jason Worth, a no contact nightcap here with a walk and 2 strikeouts. 3 for 11 in the series with a 9th inning RBI in game 1 today.
And a long look at Bo Porter.
Near the corner and just missing. Ball 2.
Let's check out Michael Morse's arm. Oh, man, look at that knot. That didn't take long.
As far as I know, first base coach is not allowed to apply ice packs to their runners.
That is nasty. I don't know that I've ever seen a knot that big that quick. Everybody's checking that out at first. Lyle Overbay just coming into the game. It's going to be a 2-bagger. A couple of bags of ice on that after this one.
2-2 to Worth.
He's going to have a tough time sleeping tonight with that. That's one that after the game is over, you put the ice on, it just starts throbbing, it gets worse. Just hope that he's okay to play tomorrow. And he's done. He's shutting it down right now. He's going to get some ice on that thing.
Yep. And a good time to use Brian Bixler, who can play anywhere. He's a former Pirate.
And that's a good move. The quicker you get ice on that thing, the better chance you have of playing tomorrow. But that thing is going to balloon up. It's going to get tight.
Brian Bixler, blinding speed. He's aboard with nobody out. And a 2-2 to Jason Worth. And he'll flare it to right field for Garrett Jones.
Time for Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Let's go back to the first game. Rick Ankiel off the bench, 3-2 pitch. Little off-speed job down the zone, digging it out. A pinch hit home run for Rick Ankiel, and he's been feeling it since he's been back. And that's a Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
That tied the game in the bottom of the 7th at 2. But then Sean Burnett gave up back-to-back homers to Jones and McCutcheon, and that was all she wrote for game 1. It's like Clint Hurdle has a double switch in mind here. Wheels turning here, bottom of the 8th inning, as here at Nationals Park. And the Pirates will make a double switch to get a left-hander in the game. Xavier Paul will make an appearance and replace Garrett Jones in right field. And the pitcher will be lefty Tony Watson, who pitched a third of an inning, walked a man, struck a man out. That was Nix and Morse in the 6th inning last night. Situational guy.
Yeah, fastball slider change from Watson. Opponents are hitting 184 against him.
Rick Ankiel stays in to hit against the left-hander. As Bixler's been used as a pinch runner, and Pudge the only remaining right-handed batter on the bench. Rick Ankiel in this ball game 1 for 3 in the series. 4 for 6. Outside, 2-0.
You start the runner. 2-0, 1 out. You got a good runner on first base. You just have to trust the fact that you think Rick Ankiel is going to hit the ball on the ground. And Brian Bixler just went back to Trent Jewett to ask him to sign one more time.
I was thinking they might wait a pitch because Ankiel is such a free swinger. On a 2-0 fastball, he might have swung and missed, but now it might be first base without swinging the bat. We shall see. The Nats have been given 5 walks in this game. 2 of them have scored. And a high strike.
Bixler had a huge lead right there. He extended his lead by about a full step from what he had the first couple of pitches of his at bat. Almost 2 feet to the cutout. That's a big lead. Wow.
3 balls, 1 strike. Pitcher coming home. That is outside. 2 on, 1 out. That'll bring in Wilson Ramos batting with men on base again.
So that's 7 walks from Watson in just 10 of the third innings pitched. A good at bat by Rick Ankiel. Make him throw strikes.
And the Pirates will not counter with a right-hander here. 2 consecutive right-handed batters for the Nats in Ramos and Desmond.
Trying to go the other way. We saw the double the opposite field in the 4th inning from Wilson Ramos. He got a fastball away right there, and he was thinking right center. Just a hair late. And this is a situation, if you're Rick Ankiel on first base, you're thinking about a ground ball. I'm going in there hard.
That's a little bit inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was a great shot of Ankiel leading off first base. He's keeping an eye on Brian Bixler. As a trail runner, you have to keep an eye on a guy with a green light on second base because you have to get a good jump just in case they decide to throw behind to second base on a double steal. So as a runner on first base, see him looking right there, Bixler. You got to keep an eye on him and get the same jump he gets if he decides to go.
Ramos jumps back from ball 2. Pirates bullpen is giving the Nats a chance to kick that door open here in the 8th inning. They haven't had more than 1 hit in any inning tonight, and the Nats haven't had a hit since the 5th. That's ball 3 to Ramos.
And if you're Wilson Ramos right now, you're looking for 1 pitch. You don't want to help Watson out at all. He's having command control problems right now. Make it be on a tee.
Bixler running. Throw is short, and he will score! Brian Bixler steals 3rd and ties the game on a catcher's error.
How many times lately has the wheels of Brian Bixler come into play? Infield hits, base hit bunts, starting rallies, and a steal right there, making something happen. You got to love it. A good throw has him. He got a bad jump. That is not a good jump, and he is out by about 3 feet if there's a good throw. It's a fact that he's not sticking around. Davey Johnson choosing to make something happen and not stand pat, and that's how the Nationals have done it all year offensively.
And by the way, Ankiel was running on the pitch, so he steals 2nd. And now the lead runs in scoring position. 3-2 to Ramos with 1 out. Way outside, and he's aboard.
So the Nats only have 4 hits tonight, but they have 4 walks in the last 2 innings. Bernardino walked, Espinosa walked in the 7th. Ankiel walked, and now Ramos. So if you're not going to hit, do the little things, and that's what they're doing right now. Getting on base, stealing bases, making things happen.
Ian Desmond will be next with 1 out as Ray Searage makes another visit to the mound.
It's just what they do, right? Every single night. We talk about it every night. The 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Hang around, hang around, hang around. Get some base runners on and get a big hit.
And some nights the other team gives you base runners.
Yeah, take them any way you can get them, and now it's about the big hit for Ian Desmond.
Ian Desmond, 0 for 2 tonight around an intentional walk. In the series, he's 1 for 9. Number 9 spot on deck.
All of a sudden, the crowd is into this baseball game.
We love it when they cheer for what's about to happen.
Well, Brian Bixler got them excited. He got them a reason to cheer. They've been waiting to cheer all night long in this baseball game.
And Ian Desmond's not the kind of guy who always waits around for a couple of pitches just because there have been a few walks. He's more often than not in attack mode. Got to be smart here. Make him throw you a strike or two. He'll take it on the inside corner.
And that's the way it always happens if you're scuffling a little bit. A guy will walk a couple of guys in front of you, nowhere near the plate. You walk up there, bam, strike one.
Nats have tied the game here in the 8th. Change up right in there. 0-2. Right-handers go down and away on Desmond when they're ahead. Let's see what the lefty does.
Coming in.
He does.
And that might have been a setup pitch to keep Ian Desmond from diving on something away. A lot of times when you're ahead in the count as a pitcher, you want to keep them honest, make them move their feet with something inside, then you go away after that.
Fastball upstairs strikes him out. And Ian Desmond is 1 for 10 in this series. It'll be up to Pudge Rodriguez with 2 outs.
And they want to come back in again, and they elevated the fastball in, and Ian Desmond couldn't catch up.
Pudge had an RBI hit in game 1 today that got the Nats back to 2-1. He went 1 for 4. And in the process, collected career hit number 2,841.
Like this matchup. Pudge Rodriguez likes the ball in. He likes to take the inside fastball and hit it the other way. Let's see if they challenge him on the inner half. That's where he wants it.
And Davey Johnson, one right-handed bat short off that bench with Jerry Hairston DL. Not hesitating at all to use his other catcher. One catcher's on base. Ramos at first, and Keel ahead of him with 2 outs now. Had him reaching on 0-2, and Pudge had a right field idea about it.
You spoil a borderline pitch. Try what they want to do right here. Maybe change the signs up a little bit. Then the guy standing on second base for a while. Got to make sure you're on the same page. Just part of the ball game.
That was close to a balk.
Fights off another.
Good fastball right there. 0-2 fastball in the inner half. It's a good job of getting a piece.
These Pittsburgh fielders must feel like they've been on the diamond on their feet for an hour. And there hasn't been a single hit in the inning. There's a hit now. Here comes Ankiel. We're going to have a play at the plate. He is safe as the ball gets away. Pudge goes into second base. Nationals take the lead.
Double fist back to the dugout from Pudge standing on second base, and this crowd is going nuts. How many times are these guys going to do it? When you come off the bench, the more fastballs you see as a hitter, the better your timing is. You're doing homework every single pitch. Pudge fouling off a couple tough pitches with 2 strikes, gets himself a ball out over the plate. And once again, Pudge Rodriguez is Mr. Clutch. Great slide by Rick Ankiel.
Ramos ends up at third. Pudge goes to second on the throw.
He's starting the celebration a little too soon. Don't worry, though. He gets it in when he gets to second. Love that guy's emotion.
Here's Bernardina. He goes up swinging. Out to short. High throw. Out on a very close play. Bernardina almost beat it out. That would have stolen another run. The Nats scored 2. Pudge behind in the count. Look at that head down. Battles back. The Nats lead into the ninth.
Stornon for the save, but let's go back and check out Pudge's swing and the big hit in this baseball game. We talked about how he likes the ball inside. That's where he's looking for it, a natural inside-out swing. So that whole at-bat, he was looking for the ball in the inner half. The situation is big. Pudge gets bigger. He's now hitting .312 with runners in scoring position, but what a great at-bat. You just don't know how hard that is coming off the bench cold like that. Seeing some 94-mile-an-hour fuzz on the inner half and taking it to right field. Pretty good throw right here. They had a chance for Ankiel at the plate. Just a great slide. A great job of getting a jump with 2 strikes and 2 outs by Rick Ankiel. All of a sudden, it's up to Drew Storm to nail this thing down. A little celebration at first. Wait, I got to go to second base. Gets there, and then he goes double fist back to the dugout. I just love the way that guy plays with the passion, the emotion, and the fire every single time he takes the field.
Brian Bixler stays in the ball game to play first base. Drew Storen in. Now, if the Pirates have been scouting Storen and paying attention to other ball clubs, you would expect them to be on the attack early in the count. Drew's been throwing a lot of first pitch fastballs lately, and some of them have been hit. Here's Lyle Overbay, a guy with home run power who came in to play first base. Aha! First pitch slider.
Stealing strike one. We talked about it the other night. Drew Storen has been ambushed a couple of times this year with first pitch fastballs in 1-run save opportunities. So what does he do right there? A little get me over slider, locked him up.
Target outside corner. Up the middle. Desmond to his left. From behind the bag. From the grass. 1 out.
You know what? You're having a tough night at the plate, 0 for 3 with a walk, maybe having a tough doubleheader, but Ian Desmond has brought his glove to work tonight. A lot of chances at shortstop, a little funny in-between hop right there, and how key is it leadoff man out in the 9th inning with a 1-run lead. That's a nice play.
Here comes another left-handed batter, Neil Walker. And another after him, Xavier Paul. He's going to get ahead with that slide piece again.
And I like it. It doesn't have to be the killer slider 0-0. You got guys up there that are hunting a first pitch fastball. You just throw over a little wrinkle and you steal strike one. You throw it again and steal strike 2.
Yeah, you get them thinking slider. He can throw 94 past you.
This is where, as a hitter, you get in the batter's box and you're saying to yourself, is he going to triple up on that? Is he going to throw 3 in a row? I can't sit on it because he throws 95. I got to respect the fastball, but it's in your head now. He planted a seed in Neil Walker's head that he might throw another slider, and Wilson Ramos wants it in the dirt.
He gets the slider in the dirt. Bixler guarding the line over there. By the way, that first baseman's mitt is a bright orange. That thing looks like it's hardly been used. I don't know if Brian has that stashed in his locker somewhere, but I'm sure he has it broken in. It just looks brand new.
He's proven to be very valuable for this ball club. He is finding ways to help you win baseball games, and that's what good utility guys do.
No balls, 2 strikes. Goes with the fastball up. Zimmerman backhand from foul ground. Yes, for out number 2. Zimmerman right on target. Probably the best throw we've seen him make this year.
Just a good play. It's that simple. A good play and a big play. How many times do you talk about it? When you're playing third base, it just looks like a lefty can't hit you a baseball. Zimmerman going into foul territory, and Brian Bixler feeling like he's been playing first base his whole life, and Drew Storen is pumped.
Biggest crowd of the year on its feet. Xavier Paul, the hitter. On a high slider, a foul to the left side. Tailing fastball, base hit. Paul sneaks one to the left of Ryan Zimmerman. And coming to the plate, a rookie catcher who got his first major league hit 6 innings ago, Eric Fryer. He goes up hacking on a Storin 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
And Paul was definitely thinking about running right there. 9 stolen bases. He's been caught twice this season, and he was leaning.
Runner holding. A little bit low. Ground ball to short. Desmond to Espinosa. And the Nats literally steal one from the Pirates tonight.
A fitting ending that Ian Desmond makes the last play of this game, but on a night when there's fireworks, Pudge provided him in the 8th inning.
20 saves for Drew Story.